Alpha-lipoic acid, or ALA, has been shown in some recent studies to be beneficial for weight loss and fat loss. We're going to take a look at those studies and let you know if you should be adding some ALA to your daily supplementation.
All right, so before we get started, you mentioned ALA. So I think some people will think, oh, I know what that is. But I think a lot of times we think of that as the omega-3. It's one of the main omega-3 fatty acids that we can get in our diet. That is not the same thing we're talking about here. That is alpha-linolenic acid. We are talking about alpha-lipoic acid. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, there's just...
Kelly will put that on the screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of words in there and stuff. You got to really figure out how to pronounce this stuff. So alpha-lipoic acid is an 8-carbon fatty acid. It's found primarily in the mitochondria. That is kind of where it does its work. And it catalyzes a lot of different reactions in the mitochondria, mainly having to do with energy production and amino acid metabolism. Interestingly enough, it's derived from caprylic acid, which is an 8-carbon medium chain triglyceride.
Right, a ketogenic MCT like we've talked about. And yeah, well, we find in MCT oil.
Right, C8, we've talked about C8. It's one of the most ketogenic, MCTs there is. So ALA has been thought to help with blood sugar control and triglyceride management for a number of years. So the problem is that those earlier studies, they were always treating people who had specific conditions. And so sometimes they didn't know if the benefits that they were seeing from the ALA was coming from the ALA or because the condition was getting better.
Yeah. And I'm going to add here something from Dr. Rhonda Patrick. I give her credit for this. She's a great scientist if you are really into learning the science behind a lot of these supplements. She mentions that alpha-lipoic acid helps us with weight loss in 2 ways. First of all, it helps that it prevents fatty acids and triglycerides from forming in the first place. And then it helps to increase fat oxidation, fat breakdown, and also helps us clear triglycerides out of the body. So we're getting kind of the 1-2 punch for fat with alpha-lipoic acid.
Right. So when we take a look at this recent study, and they specifically were looking at triglyceride and weight loss. Triglyceride primary and weight loss was secondary. So they took 81 subjects, 46 were women, 35 were men, all with elevated triglyceride, all with a BMI of over 25, which is considered overweight. And they were assigned to one of 2 groups, either the experimental group, which got 600 milligrams of alpha-lipoic acid every day, or the control group, which got a placebo. They were also instructed to maintain their normal diet, maintain their normal physical activity level. So after 24 weeks, what they found in the subgroup of women and obese subjects, and they defined obese as any BMI over 35, which is, I think the BMI chart says 30, but 35 is, certainly obese. These subjects, this kind of subgroup, had the greatest weight loss and fat loss that they had seen in this study. So they had a 5% loss of weight and a 9% loss in their body fat mass.
Yeah, so that's significant, and considering especially the only thing they changed was that they got the supplement that was active and these guys got the placebo.
Right, yeah, that's the only thing. And they also noted that the triglyceride were significantly lowered in this group, specifically the weight loss group, but they didn't see that across the board. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind, that if you're a man and you're not obese, maybe it doesn't work quite as well. I don't know. Okay. Now, I would like to add that during my functional medicine certification, I did learn about ALA as being a very good supplement for your mitochondria. So I do use it every morning, have been for the past couple of years, along with carnitine, just for mitochondrial support, just to kind of give my mitochondria everything they might need.
Right, we want those mitochondria to work hard for us, right? They are the powerhouses, so they are what keep our metabolism going, basically.
Right. So good for me. I've been taking ALA. I'm going to continue taking it.
Yeah, there you go. And you take it in the morning, which is how they recommend taking alpha-lipoic acid on an empty stomach. Right. And I will say also, just to kind of wrap this up, that we can get it from natural food sources, but if we're not eating organ meats, specifically I think it's kidney and liver, are very high in ALA. So if we're not eating those, we can get it from some vegetables, but the amount is low. That would be like spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, tomatoes, those types of things. So getting it from a supplement is beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we will put some links in the description how you can find a good brand of ALA. Yep. But anything else you want to add on that?
Nope, no reason not to add it. I mean, it's safe. Seems to be effective.
Yeah. So I hope that gives you something to consider adding into your healthy keto or low carb diet. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in the next video.